Now that we reviewed the top half, let's move on to the bottom. The next part is a component that allows you to zoom in and out. So say, for example, you really want a student to work on this problem. You can zoom into that question so your students have a better understanding of what this component is. Unfortunately, you can't use other components with it. You have to only zoom in on that specific one. So we need to make sure that when we're doing this, we have that ability to work on that part. We aren't able to use the pen, unfortunately, but it allows you to kind of focus in on one specific area. Our next tool is a hammer and a wrench. These are our tools. What this is that it has 4 different components: spotlight, countdown, stopwatch, and air class. These 4 are really fun and helpful tools that every teacher will use, whether you're from elementary to high school. One of them is spotlight. And spotlight allows me to move it around and really focus in on one specific topic. Here's the cool thing. Down here in the bottom, there's a setting. I can make it bigger or smaller, depending on what I need. Or I can change the clarity where you can see everything, or you can only see what that spotlight has. Sometimes we don't want it to be a circle. Maybe you want it to be a rectangle, so you can really see that problem. Don't worry, it can do that. So what we're really looking at is, how does that really work? How does that component help? A lot of the times you want to focus on one specific topic. You only want your students to see one thing at a time. This will allow you to do that. Continuing, we have countdown. It's basically what it says. You set the timer for as long as you want, and then you hit start. The cool thing is that you also have the ability to expand it to take up the whole screen. When it rings, it sounds like church bells. It goes off, it's a loud gong. It will get their attention, but you have to be mindful of students who may be aware of those sounds or may have difficulties with the countdown. You may not want the big countdown on for certain students. I can pause it, I can resume it, and I can reset the timer. A lot of the times when we work with our timers, sometimes we keep them on our desks, sometimes we have the little box one that goes on the smartboard or on the wall. This allows it to be able to be mobile on our board. Now, you can set it up to 23 hours. I don't think you'll ever need that, but you have that ability. You can also turn the ring off and it will just flash red. That works too if you don't want to have the noise factor. On to the next one. So we have the stopwatch. Again, it's what it sounds like. You hit start, you can hit lapse as many times as you want. You can pause it and find the total time and go from there. And the last one is a pretty cool feature. This is typically for middle to probably high school you're going to use this for. However, with our new cell phone policy, you typically won't be able to use this as frequently, but it allows you to have an air class. What that means is if I have someone scan this QR code, it will come up as they joined. I can enter the class and it gives me a variety of things. I can send a message across the screen. I can be a judge and say whether if it's true or false. They can vote, or I can pick a responder and it'll pick someone as the person that I want. You have many options. It's difficult for kids to scan it with their Chromebooks. Typically it works better with phones. It'd be great for like a faculty meeting where your principal is able to interact with this faculty and be able to pick who they want to interact with. It'd be great for equity meetings if the equity team is being able to use it. A lot of the times, because of our new cell phone policy, it's going to be a challenge, but it has its benefits. But that's only if you want to use that. So let's talk about those and let's review.